Hiya, hi ladies. How everybody doing today? Hope you're having a great day. Wanting to come on and talk to you about your periods during perimenopause, and what's happening. I mean, do you know how your cycle works? I know I didn't when I was, just have your cycle every month. You have your periods every month. You don't really pay attention to which hormone is present when and when you're ovulating and what your temperature changes are in your body. And unless you're actually trying to get pregnant yourself and struggling, you wouldn't know how to take your temperature to check when you're ovulating and things like that. It's not until I started on my journey to perimenopause and I wanted to know more about what happens to a woman's body during this time that I started to realize all the hormones involved in menstruation and what goes on and how it all works. It's all quite fascinating how your body goes through this cycle every single month, and how you can work with your hormones, work with how you're feeling, and when to exercise, when to eat certain foods can really make a big difference as to how you're feeling. It's a secret weapon for women to be able to control weight and control moods and sleep and everything like that, just by looking at your cycle and how it all works. So I just wanted to quickly go through what happens during your cycle, what happens to your periods. So for anyone that doesn't know me, I'm Andrea, I'm a nutritional therapist, and I love to help women and support women to get healthy hormones so they can look good and feel good inside and out. And I'm the author of my book, The Perimenopause Handbook. There's a poster behind me, you can see on the wall there. It's my book. Published it in January this year. And this is through researching over the last 10 years about how hormones work. I put my book together to help women all over the world struggling with perimenopause during this time. So back to periods. Your menstruation every month, you have a period every month about on day 28 to 35 days, just depends, every woman's different. If you're having regular cycles every 28 days or longer than that, or maybe a bit shorter than that, there's no rule really. It's every woman's different. You can have your period at different times of every month, but it's usually around that time, 25, maybe 35 days within that window, you'll have a period every month. And the first 2 weeks of your month, the first day of your period, that's when your cycle starts. So that's the first day of your period, your cycle will start. And then estrogen, your hormone levels will be quite low during this time. And then your estrogen, progesterone will start to rise again after your first day. So you probably have a bit more energy as you're going through through your period. And then on day 5, you'll notice that your energy levels will have picked up and you'll be feeling much better and have more energy, feel great, and have more energy to do exercise. So estrogen levels then start to rise and get higher than progesterone, and that's getting ready. Your ovaries are getting ready then to release an egg, to mature your egg, to get ready for ovulation, which happens at around day 14. You will ovulate then, and then you will ovulate and an egg will be released from your ovaries, and then a pop-up shot will appear, and that's what will release your progesterone. So you need to ovulate to make progesterone, because then you will develop this pop-up shot called the corpus luteum, which appears when you ovulate, and then you will be fertile for about 6 days after you ovulate. So you need to take precautions around this time if you don't want to get pregnant. So it's about 6 to 7 days after you ovulate, you can get pregnant during this time, so take extra precautions. And then after this time, your hormone levels, estrogen and progesterone, will peak, and then they will go low again around your period, around the 28-day mark, or either side of that day, either side of those days, and you'll have your period again, and then it will start all over again. You'll start on day 1 again, on the first day of your period, and you'll go, and that's what happens every month. You may have some PMS. If you're having some PMS around before your period starts, as the estrogen and progesterone levels are going low, this means that they're not going low together. You've got more estrogen around than progesterone, and that's causing a bit of irritability, a bit of PMS and bloating. So we need to try and get your progesterone levels up a bit, so they're both declining together, and then you won't get a lot of PMS symptoms. Estrogen is there to grow your uterus with blood, getting ready for the implantation of an egg and to grow a baby. And then progesterone is there in the second part of the month to keep under control estrogen and the control of the blood, so you're not getting too much blood building up in your uterus. And this can be a lot of problems for women that don't have ovulation in the second part of the month, and blood levels can grow too much in the uterus, and then you can have some heavy bleeding if you don't have ovulation, you don't have progesterone around to keep that blood growth in check. So this is what happens every month. You could have some discomfort during your period if you're getting a lot of pain, because what's happening during your period, if you're having a lot of pains, period pains and cramping, it can also affect your digestive system. It's what's happening with the uterus is contracting, and there's the release of what's called prostaglandins, and sometimes that release of prostaglandins is too much, and it's causing the contractions of the uterus to contract too much, and it's causing a lot of pain. There's a lot you can do to help with that, to reduce the prostaglandin release and reducing your pain down every month. Because your periods want to be just light, they don't want to be really heavy. You don't want to have a lot of PMS, you don't want to have a lot of pain as well during your periods. So you should just be able to just have your period as normal, not really have lots of symptoms and bloating and lots of pain. If you do have that, then it's a sign that your hormones are dysregulated, and there's a lot you can do to get that under control and to stop the pain, stop the discomfort, and to stop your PMS symptoms. If they're getting too extreme, there's a lot you can do with that, and I talk about that in my hormone reset. That's starting on the 1st of July. I'm going to put the link below to find out more details about it. It's covering 4 areas that I like to cover, and that's your diet, your lifestyle, your mindset, and your exercise. There's a lot you can do to control your periods, to stop the heavy bleeding, to stop the discomfort, stop the PMS. There's a lot you can do to help with that. You don't have to suffer at all. So what's happening with your periods during perimenopause? Because this is happening every month. What's happening in perimenopause is your body's getting ready to stop ovulating. Your body's getting ready to, your eggs are running out. Your body's getting ready to stop having periods, to stop being fertile, to stop getting pregnant and having babies. So what can be happening, you might not notice a lot of difference in your periods until you get into your 40s. And then you might have started to notice they're getting either lighter, might have light one month and heavy the next month. You might miss periods in a few months. You might not, you just miss one altogether and not have one. This is where it's a good time to, when you start noticing differences, to keep a journal of it and start keeping a track of how you're feeling, how your cycle's going and what's happening. Because this is a normal process. As your hormones are declining, estrogen and progesterone levels are declining, and more so your progesterone, because you do lose your progesterone in menopause when your periods stop. And then when you've gone a full 12 months without a period, that means you are in menopause, and you will make low levels of estrogen and progesterone. Your adrenal glands take over the production of your hormones. When your ovaries stop, when you stop having periods, you do make low levels of hormones still. They will still be around. You don't just stop having hormones. You do have low levels of hormones. It's like puberty in reverse again. So when you get into be a teenager, your hormones are increasing, and your hormones can be scatty as you when you start your periods when you're younger, and you're like 16 or 17, you know, in your teenage years. You can have some symptoms similar to perimenopause, because as the hormones are declining, you'll probably have scatty periods and heavy periods, and that's like the same thing as you're going through during puberty as well. So there can be scatty, and there's a lot you can do to help with your diet, your exercise, and all these things to help with the decline of hormones, to help with the heavy bleeding, to help with progesterone and estrogen, and increasing your levels to help if you're having any anxiousness, or if you're having any pains or PMS symptoms. There's a lot you can do to help with that. So keep a journal as to what's happening with your periods. The only time I would really be worried is if you're having heavy periods for long periods of time. If you're having a heavy bleeding that's going on for longer than a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, then that's not normal, and there's something needs to be checked out with your doctor there. What could be happening? Because there may be something that's not quite right. You need to have a scan to check out if there's any abnormalities, any cysts or fibroids growing, or something else that could be causing it. But you can do a lot. It might be just some estrogen dominance because of heavy bleeding. And there's some things that you can do to get, look at your liver health, look at your diet, look at what you're eating and your lifestyle. All these 4 areas that I like to cover in my hormone reset, can look at that to see what's causing the heavy bleeding, because this isn't normal to be going on for long periods of time. And it's okay if you're maybe just having one heavy bleeding 1 month and then the next month it's light again. If you're having continual heavy bleeding, then there's something not right there. And that can be worked upon, but it needs to be checked out with your doctor first to make sure there's nothing else in your body causing it, and then looking at your diet and everything else to really get to grips with the heavy bleeding and control it. There's so much that you can do to help with that, so don't despair if you're having heavy bleeding. If you want to join my hormone reset course, we can help you sort that out, no problem at all. But yeah, it needs to be checked out with your doctor first, just to check that everything's okay with you and you don't have any health problems. That's really important, because then it can put you at risk of anemia and low iron levels and low vitamin D levels as well. So you may need to incorporate more of that into your diet if you're having some heavy bleeding. Yeah, so to keep a check on what's happening, as the gap between your periods gets wider and wider, this is an indication that you're getting closer to menopause. Like you may have 2 periods in a year, or you may have just 4 or 5. Then you know that as the years go on, the gap will get wider and wider. So the next year you might only have 2 periods, then the year after that you might just have 1 period, or you may just go a full year without a period at all, and then you can say, okay, after 12 months, no period, I'm definitely in menopause now. So if you want to join my hormone reset, I'm going to be starting on the 1st of July. I'm going to be talking about diet, exercise, your lifestyle, mindset, getting toxins out of your life, how to get the toxins out of your body, to free up all the receptor sites in your body so your hormones can reset and start working again properly. Looking at digestion, is digestion causing you a problem with your hormone dysregulation? I'm going to be in a Facebook group. It's going to be a private Facebook group set up for everybody that's on the course, all women, that we can get together, we can talk about what's going on inside your body, share experiences. I can be there to help and support you, to work with your diet and your lifestyle, exercise and your mindset. I'm going to be providing lots of free bonuses for you. How to set up your day right, how to get your liver healthy, how to look at your digestion and see what's happening there. There's going to be meal plans. I'll provide you with all the meal plans. There's going to be over 100 recipes to choose from. They're going to be easy to make. You're going to not have to spend hours in the kitchen. I'll show you how to make healthy meals that are not hard at all to put together, so you can get healthy. So come along and join. I'll put the link below so you can look at the my page that I've set up for you to get more information about it. And if you have any questions at all you want to ask about the course, then please do ask me. Please get in touch and I'll be free to answer them for you. So thanks for watching today. If you have any queries at all about your periods and what's going on with your menstruation every month, and you may just want to know what's happening during perimenopause and how your hormones are declining, then put your questions below. I'll be quite happy to answer your questions for you, anything you've got So thanks for watching and have a great day. Take care, and I'll see you again in the next video. See you later.